Country singer-songwriter Whey Jennings was born into one of country music's most iconic family names, first emerging in 2012 as another naturally gifted singer from the Jennings tribe. With large boots to fill, the young Nashville recording artist and singer-songwriter for Dirt Rock Empire, with a booming baritone voice as big as Texas, finds himself with a few expectations to live up to. Seeking to establish his own musical legacy as one of the few remaining torch-bearing country traditionalists out there, Whey can instantly take his fans back to a time and sound his grandfather Waylon and grandmother Jessie gave birth to in the 70s, even with his own songs. Whey Jennings is my guest in this episode of the Boston Chris podcast, and without any further ado, let's chat with Whey.
It's time to chat.
I'm Brandon Howard from the band Howard County, and I'm on the Boston Chris Show.
Guys, we are here with a buddy of mine. We met 7-8 years ago. We were just catching up. I was like, Whey, do you remember that? He was like, maybe. But we got Whey Jennings on the show today, and I want to chat a little bit about Whey and catch up with him because, again, a lot of things have changed in the 7 years since we last spoke. But there is a lot of badassery in Whey's family, and let's just get that out of the way first and foremost. You got, his grandfather was a badass. His grandmother is still a badass. He's got cousins that are badasses. His father was damn sure a badass, and I got lucky to meet him and talk to him. And Whey, you're a badass yourself, man. There's a lot of badass in your family, dude, isn't there?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. Just so excited to have you here again, man. Thanks for taking the time to chat with us.
You bet, man. You bet.
So Whey is coming to Texas with a bunch of shows, and I want to talk about that real quick because we do have a lot of viewers and listeners here in Texas. If you're not watching from Texas, though, man, you guys go to wheyjennings.com, and by God, there's a show somewhere near you coming up this year. He's probably the busiest musician I've ever seen, honestly, when it comes to touring. Holy crap, man. It just goes on forever. But let's talk about what's coming up for you in Texas. May 1st, this is a Thursday. This is at 5D Steakhouse in Port O'Connor. Soggy Bottom Saloon on the 2nd, which is a Friday in Beaumont. He's going to be performing at the Texas Pride Barbecue Bash on the 3rd, which is in Adkins, Texas. And then he's at the Tapatio Springs Resort that Sunday, the 4th, which is in Boerne, Texas. Just 4 shows right there. I'm going to give you guys a chance to pause right now. Go get your tickets. When Whey and I will just wait.
Yeah, I think they pronounce that Boerne, Texas.
It is Boerne, Texas. That's right. Golly.
It looks like Boerne, Texas, though.
See, I'm from Massachusetts, so we have a Boerne up there. That's going to be my excuse for that. What can people expect at a Whey Jennings show, man?
High energy, good time, man. We do all kinds of cool stuff at our shows, man. We play good music. I like to stand people up, set them down, and when they're not expecting it, I like them to leave with a little bit of peace of me, man. I talk about my struggles. I talk about how I found God. I talk about all the rocking and rolling we've always done, and I sing a lot of good music in between, man. It's all good.
And you never can tell when Whey's going to have a special guest, right? I feel like that is a staple of your shows at this point. Like, you never know who's going to be there and who you're going to pull up with you.
Every once in a while, yeah.
Yeah, don't sleep on that. So you're also, much like your grandfather, from the West Texas area, right?
Well, yeah, I was born in Dallas, but I lived out in West Texas for about 10 years when I worked on a cotton farm out in the oil field for quite a while. And then I hit the road, started playing music after my mama got sick. I stayed with my mom until she passed away, and she asked me to do music before she passed away, and I said I'd give it a shot, is what I said.
Yeah.
So I gave it a shot, and it kept going on to another shot, another shot, another shot. And then along the way, I took a lot of shots. And and then I just decided I was doing everything wrong and for the wrong reasons. So I just gave my life to God and went and got sober. Everything fell together at that point. When you're living right, the right things happen. When you're living wrong, the wrong things happen. It's the law of attraction, man. That's all there is to it.
I want people to know out there too, as a fan of yours, man. It's so obvious that you have paid your dues. I want people to understand that just because his last name is Jennings, Whey has paid his dues many times over when it comes to the music business. And man, I'm really, really excited and congratulate you for not just finding God, but becoming sober as well. I'd love to hear from your perspective. How has the art changed now that that wall of sobriety has been gotten through?
It's changed for the better, for one thing. If you seen me 8 years ago, I had these thick black shades on my face, and I always closed my eyes and sang my songs back then. I was kind of really scared to death, honestly. And nowadays I can look people dead in the eye. It's like when it comes to writing a song, I take more time and I take more patience and I make sure everything's right now, where I used to just make up lyrics off the top of my head about anything. I'd really sing about anything back then. But now I want to sing about things that are, they're fun to listen to, but they're also able for all ages to listen to. I don't cuss in my songs. I don't, I kind of follow the same format that my grandfather did back in the day. Sing about all the things, just sing about it with, not a filthy mouth,
Yeah.
So I started doing that more. I've got a lot of great songs we just put out on Jekyll Hyde. It's a great album. It's the best thing I've ever done in my life. I was able to get some rockers in there and still be able to put across a positive message. And that it opened up my mind to a lot of possibilities. This next album I'm putting out, I want to do a real true blue country album. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm going for on this new one. There's going to be a couple rockers on there, but I really want to stay true to my roots on this one, and I just want to make it something that I can look back and believe in, and that's just, and I have that in Jekyll Hyde. Don't get me wrong, I do have that, but I want a real true country album, something that I know is 100% country is what I want. That's what I'm fixing to put out.
Well, I mean, even the 100% country has a lot of edge in it, right? Like, your granddad and your grandmother too, to an extent, like their country music has a lot of edge in it, has a lot of other factors and genres in it that kind of made up the outlaw sound back in the day anyway, right? It wasn't 100% country.
No, it's never going to be 100% country. It's always got its influences from the outside, but it's I don't know how to explain it. In my opinion, there's two genres: good music and bad music.
Yeah, I agree with you.
You know what I mean? I can find music I like in any genre that I like, and I can find music that I can't stand in any genre as well. It's just
absolutely.
Just if it's good, it's good. If it's not, it's not. It's just the way it is.
I love that. And man, I love when I saw the release of the record Jekyll and Hyde, you had me chuckling because I understand there's probably a tongue-in-cheek message in the title of this album, right? Kind of two sides of who Whey Jennings is. Was that meant to be that way?
It was. That's why we called it Jekyll and Hyde, because it encapsulates my entire life, man. I was on the wrong side. Now I'm on the right side. And I still ain't afraid to sing about the wrong side because, it's all a part of me. You got to own who you were and what you did, So that's what I did. I took what I knew about myself and what I knew would relate to other people, regardless of what stage in their life they're at. And I threw it all out there for everybody to understand me on,
Yeah, the lyrics on the record, man, if people are paying close attention to those lyrics, you're going to learn a lot biographically about who Whey is, I feel. There's a lot of little sneak peeks in there of who you are, and I love that lyrically. Man, I saw on your website some words that really stuck with me. The quote is "modern day approach," unquote, to songwriting, and I really wanted to chat with you about those three words, modern day approach. What does that mean to you?
That means that I want to take old school music and make people today understand it. You know what I mean? Because I know what I like in music. I know what feeling I'm looking for. And I know that feeling is not something that's easily found anymore, Because this is the thing. When it comes to music, people always want to make their own music and make their own art and be their own selves. And we make a mistake of disregarding a lot of things from the past just because of that one thing. You know what I mean? But there's so much in the past that is so good that to leave that behind is a disservice to the world. You know what I mean? It really is. Like, you remember back in the 50s, that feel good rock and roll music, you know what I mean?
Rockabilly, man, hell yeah.
Yeah, that was something, you know, and there's a lot of time frames in there that did something great with music that we feel like we don't need to do anymore. And I just don't feel like that's the truth. You know, if you want
That's
to
where
get
your
across,
family's roots are at too, man. Buddy Holly and that Lubbock sound that came out of there, you know, that really edgy rock and roll that man, kids today don't even know what that's about, man. When I saw
but
those
if
words,
they hear it, they hear it, they do. When they hear it, they're like, "What is that?"
Exactly.
You know? It's
Yeah.
like, so,
Man, like when Buddy Holly is standing on the Apollo, right? Like, let's talk about that. Like, this little nerdy kid with glasses and bringing his music to the Apollo, like that's that Lubbock sound that Whey, I feel, is talking about right here. That edgy rock and roll, rockabilly kind of vibe to music. When I saw Modern Day Approach, I felt like a lot of people could see those words and get a technological meaning from it, right? Like the technology is better and all of that. But I knew it had to be more emotional for you, right? Like more the truth behind the music, the emotions in it, the feel of the music, rather than upgrading just the sound or the technology or the equipment, right?
exactly. You know what I mean? I believe that music should be pure as it can possibly be. Now, I'm not taking anything away from anybody who's using technology in music. You
Of
know what I
course.
mean? That way I feel about it is every artist out there creates their art their own way.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If that's the step, myself, the way I create art is I like that full band sound. I like the sound of a bass guitar. I like the sound of a set of drums, and I mean a full big old set of drums. You know, I mean, I like that lead guitar. I like steel guitar. I like dobro. I like musical instruments is what I like. I like the way it sounds. I like how pure it sounds, and it's something that I don't want my kids to go without hearing in their lifetime. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I feel like there's enough people that are following the way of doing things that's done today. I don't think that it's going to hurt anything for me to continue down the path that the people before me went down,
Yeah.
and make good music the way I feel like it should be made. And I love some of the new stuff. I love a lot of the new stuff. It sounds great, but I just don't want part of our history to go to the wayside. I mean, I'd like for my kids to be able to hear any kind of music they want to hear at any time they want to hear it. And like we can't find 8 tracks and tapes anymore. You know what I mean? All we can find
Reel to
is
reel.
what we
Try
have.
to find a reel to reel nowadays, man, or analog.
I know. And I believe that we ought to be able to find that if we want it. You know what I mean? And that's just, I just want to make good music with good friends and good music. I mean, I don't want to sit in a room by myself and create music. I want to have a bunch of people creating music
collaborative,
together.
right?
Yeah, that's what I want.
Man, one thing I love about you, and we talked about this a little bit back in the day, right, is just kind of how you've always wanted to keep your sound and your performances kind of edgy, almost unpolished in a way. Just, I don't want to say unprofessional, but definitely not overly produced or whatever. That's always been on your mindset, right? When it comes to, especially in the studio, I would feel, right?
Exactly. I mean, the thing about it is you can add too much to a song and lose it.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It only needs what it needs. It's kind of like cooking a meal. You got to follow the recipe.
Mm-hmm.
You start adding a bunch of junk to the recipe, you're going to end up with a big pile of mush. It's just all there is to it.
And you don't
and
want
it's
to
going
lose
to cost
the
you
feel
more
either.
money to make the mush.
Yeah. Right, yeah. Losing the feel is going to be horrible when it comes to creating art, for real. Another thing I wanted to talk to you about, and I have a bunch of really fun segments I want to get to before we let you go, but paying homage to your folks. We talked about all the badasses in your family, not just before you, but on the same level, your cousins, the Struggle Jennings, the Shooter, and all of these guys that are just phenomenal, creating their own art. And obviously you guys are all different. What's it like for you trying to pay homage not only to your cousins and stuff, but your dad and your granddad, your grandma, but also formulating your own signature sound as well? There's going to be a tough balance there, right?
Well, as long as you don't try to make it a balance, you know what I mean? You just go out there and be yourself, and God
Great
leads you
answer.
down the
Yeah.
path you want to go down, and it's just going to come naturally. It's going to come out the way it should,
Right.
and you can't run from who you are, but you also can't, stay right where you are either. You got to move forward and build on it. And that's what I've always tried to do. And it seems like the last 15 years, no matter what I put out, it's like, you sound just like your grandfather. And I was like, okay, so I'm not going to try to not sound like me, you know what I mean, in order to avoid anything like that.
How do you
know what I
feel
mean?
when people say that to you? That you sound just like,
Well,
do you get tired of hearing that?
Well, I just sound like me. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I
I've
agree with
never, I've
that.
never said, "Hey, I'm waking up this morning. I just want to sound like Waylon Jennings."
Right.
I've never. I love my grandfather's music. I do. You know what I mean? But I've only ever sounded like me, and I don't hear it the way they do. I mean, I can hear little tinges of it here and there, but I've listened to me singing one of his songs and him singing one of his songs, and it doesn't sound all that much alike.
No, I agree.
I mean, it doesn't, but I can see where people could hear that, because I know other artists who have family members in the business, and I can hear them, like Thomas Gabriel, a good friend of
Incredible.
mine.
Yeah,
I can hear Johnny Cash in his voice
of course.
a lot, but then again, I can hear Thomas Gabriel in his voice
Yeah,
too.
Jesse Keith Whitley's the same way. Very,
Yeah,
very
just
similar.
with it. Yep,
Yeah.
same thing. Yeah.
Yep.
So the thing about it, it's not an us thing. It's the people who are listening thing. You know what I mean? Of course, you're going to hear what you're looking for. If you're looking to hear Waylon Jennings in my voice, you're going to find it every
Yeah, it's a
time.
placebo
You
thing,
know?
right? Like if your name was Way
Yeah.
Smith, they never would hear that probably, right? And I mean the DNA is what it is, but what you're creating, I imagine you don't think of I imagine you don't think of Waylon very often when you're creating your own stuff.
Well, he's been a huge influence of mine.
Of
I mean,
course,
let's get
yeah,
that. Let's set that straight. I mean, when
yeah,
it comes to musicians out there, my grandfather is one of my favorites of all time. I
right,
am a huge Waylon fan. Period. And I know this because I can't think of a song of his that I've never heard. You
yeah.
know what I mean? Because I love my grandfather.
By
I
the
love
way,
him
my
about my
favorite
heart.
is Revelation, and that's not a hugely known song by Waylon. That's my favorite song.
I actually just heard that today. I
Oh
seen
yeah?
where CJ Garton did a cover of it on TikTok. I think
Oh
I
man, I'll
seen
have to look that up. Hell yeah, that's a great song. Yeah.
it. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of his songs. And the thing about it is he not only did his own music, he covered a lot of people's music too. If there was
Of
a
course.
song that was done in the '70s, my grandfather covered it.
Yeah.
It's just that's all there is to it. And I felt like I'm a lot alike with him on that. I mean, I love good music, and when I hear music that I feel like I could sing, I try to. I mean, that's just what I do.
You got to challenge yourself that way, right?
Yep. You gotta stay true to who you are. You gotta be not afraid of getting outside of the box, and you gotta also not listen too much. I mean, take everybody's advice, but don't disregard your own advice.
Of
You know what I
course.
mean?
Yeah.
And if people like what you do, great. If they don't, maybe they will next time.
Yeah, and understanding that your own opinion should matter the most in your life, right? Like, and for me, I feel that's the way it is. But I think also, kind of in a mental health way, like maybe you feel like you're a little selfish that way if you lean on your own opinion too much. But I don't think it should be that way. I think I think our own opinions should matter more to us than they do, right?
Well, I think opinions are opinions, you know what I mean? But the thing about it is we really got to understand that this is not our plan, you
Yeah.
know?
Yep.
It's God's plan. That's all there is to it. I
Good
mean, you
stuff.
can try your best to try to make it your plan, but if the good Lord above don't want it to happen, it ain't going to happen. And that's just all there is to it. I figured that out, and it took me 44 years to figure it out, but I figured it out, and it's the truth. Anybody out there thinks they're doing something, they're not. If God don't want it done, it won't be done. That's all there is to it.
Well, man, it's good to see your eyes, right? And it's good to see all this joy in your face, man. As tired as I know you probably are, it's good to see. It's refreshing, dude.
Well, I appreciate it, brother. I really do.
Of course, man. Last thing I'll talk about before we get to the fun stuff that I know everybody's waiting on. I wanted to talk about you did find God, you found sobriety, and you also, the third big thing that's happened since the last time we talked, other than the music, obviously, is you got married.
I did. I got
Awesome
married
stuff.
and had a daughter, and all my kids come home. I'm an old man now, man. All my kids are home, and I've just been raising kids and loving my beautiful wife, and it's having a good life, man. That's it.
And balancing all of these tour dates with a wife and 6 children, man. What is like? How, dude? How are you doing
I
that?
don't know, man. What do I look at my eyes? I'm pretty tired, man. I'm telling you what, I'm trying to accomplish everything I'm supposed to accomplish in life. And at the same time, I'm trying to be the best husband and father I possibly can be. And trying to be a good role model to anybody who's watching me out there. You know what I mean? I led a lot of people down the wrong path. I
Yeah.
did. Because I just did. A lot of people seen me doing wrong and they wanted to do wrong just like me. And I feel horrible about that. So what I'm hoping now is people are seeing me doing right and they want to do right because of that. And, it's all God's plan. God's plan was for me to hit rock bottom and pick myself up and lean on Him heavier than I've ever leaned on anybody. And He has blessed my life more than anything I can even explain. I've got a beautiful wife, live in a great neighborhood. My kids go to good schools. We got a big family here. I get to see my family down in Nashville every once in a while when I go down there. I see my family in Texas when I go down there. I'm able to travel and see people that I love that live all over this country, and also able to be a very present father and husband. And as long as that keeps going that way for me, then I'll continue to do what I'm doing. But
Living the life, man. Living the life.
Any area of my life starts to lack, I'm gonna have to say I ain't doing this because I got a 4-year-old daughter who needs a daddy. And that's just all there is to it.
Yep. Good stuff, man. Glad to see your head is on your shoulders where it belongs, and good stuff, man. Hey, guys, quick commercial with my buddy Pappy Middleton. This is 30-year producer of Bonnie Raitt, and he's looking for understudies. You could learn. We talked about reel-to-reel, analog. Pappy is still recording in analog, so y'all check him out. Palmyra Studios right here.
I'm putting it together right now, and I'd love to get it out that any student, I don't care how old you are or what, if your heart lies within this kind of domain of the sound, playing, any of that, I'm gonna start taking one day out of every couple of weeks and invite students in for a very small charge. And I will tell you whatever you want. Any question you got, I'll try to answer it.
Well, I will certainly put that out there. I'll make this a little ad for you, and we can share it.
Because they'll have full access to the studio, everything. I can tell them everything about how all of this started from analog into the digital world, and you'll be able to have hands-on. And I'll show you why analog sounds better than digital.
Amazing. Yeah, I'll definitely cut this out. I'll make a little ad out of it, and we can share it everywhere.
That's awesome.
Absolutely.
Because I'd love to do it. That's my legacy, is to leave with.
It's pass it down, right?
Yeah.
I mean. All right, so we are back with Whey Jennings, and we're going to talk about our favorite segments. This is just like 5 or 6 things that I think you'll have a little fun with, a little bit different than the normal interview. First one is called Did You Know? Tell us something your fans may not know about you, Whey.
My fans may not know about me.
Yeah.
Oh, man. You could have warned me about all this.
If you don't want to answer, you could make something up, right?
Well, then I got 6 kids, and I'm married, and I live in Pennsylvania. That's probably what they don't know about me right there.
There you go. So technically you're a Yankee. Oh, goodness.
No, technically I'm not a Yankee.
Technically I am not a Yankee.
I'm a Texylvanian is what I tell everybody these days.
Texylvanian. I love it. That's good stuff. Good stuff. Man, I'm going to have to come up with one for mine now. I've been in Texas 24 years and grew up in Massachusetts, so I'm going to have to think of one for that. Texas-chusetts? Maybe. That might work.
Texas-chusetts.
All right, next one's called Mount Rushmore. Who is on Whey Jennings' Mount Rushmore of most influential artists to you?
Let's see. Waylon Jennings, Hank Jr., Jamie Johnson, and man, that last one's going to be hard. I'm going to say Shooter Jennings.
Love it. Hell yeah. Wow, fam is on 50% of your Mount Rushmore. That's the way to be,
Bookends,
man. That's the way to be. All right, next one's called What the Heck? This is just rapid fire. I'm just going to hit you with 5 questions really fast. Just tell me the first thing that pops into your head. Let me see here. How long do you wait after finishing your food before going back for seconds?
I don't.
So just once and done. One and done.
Yeah.
If you wrote a book, what would it be about?
About what not to do.
All right. Number 3, what are you afraid of?
God.
All right. Number 4, are you more of a hunter or a gatherer?
Gatherer.
And last one, what do you think cats dream about?
What I think cats dream about?
Yeah.
My music.
There you go. All right. All right. I'm gonna be playing Jekyll and Hyde for my cats tonight. We'll see if that's true or not.
All right, buddy. I'll tell you.
I'll take video of it and send it to you. All right. Next one's called One Artist. Who is one artist that you wish the entire world knew about other than yourself?
Jamie Johnson.
That's a great answer. That's the 3rd time that name has been on this. Buddy Cannon said the same thing. And Becky Hobbs, the lady who wrote Angels Among Us, both said Jamie Johnson.
Yeah, man.
Next one's called Wishlist. What is on your wish list of things you haven't done yet?
I haven't never had a number one song.
Oh man, that's coming.
I haven't walked my daughter down the aisle. And I haven't gotten gray hair yet. Oh, completely gray hair.
Oh,
yet.
you don't want that. That's not on the wish list.
It is on the wish list.
You're just looking for a side gig as Santa, aren't you?
Yeah, something like that. I have to gain a little weight, but we can make that happen too.
Hey, they have fat suits for that. Yeah. All right, last one. Second to last one. This is called Moment of Gravity. What moment or person do you think was most responsible for where you are today? Whether it's musically or any other, whatever comes to mind.
Probably my manager, Tammy. I call her my momager.
Momager.
That's who's probably most responsible. She never gave up on me, man. She just kept believing in me and kept pushing me in the right direction.
And she's one of the sweetest human beings I've ever met myself personally. So.
Yeah. And next would be, other than, my beautiful wife has been there before me, but Tammy's been there since way back when I was a scrambled egg of a mess, man.
Yeah.
This is all there is to it.
All right. Awesome stuff. Last segment is called Who Do You Think You Are? Who is Whey Jennings?
I'm a redemption story, man. I'm just this guy who did everything wrong and turned around and I'm trying to do everything right. I'm not perfect. I'm a good husband, a good father, and trying to be a good role model and musician. And, I'm just a man who I'm supposed to be by the grace of God. That's it.
Awesome stuff. I want to remind everybody, WheyJennings.com is the website. That's going to be in the description below if you want to click on that. Reminder to all of you fine folks in the state of Texas, Whey is coming here at the beginning of May. Again, Port O'Connor on the 1st at 5D Steakhouse. Beaumont, Texas at the Soggy Saloon on the 2nd. Texas Pride Barbecue Bash on the 3rd in Adkins, Texas. And Boerne, Texas. I got it right this time.
There you go.
Tapatio Springs Resort. I'm a little bit upset with myself that I got Tapatio right and then butchered Boerne. That's on May 4th. So you guys check that out. We do have some friends in Alaska. Whey's going to be in Alaska next month as well. That's going to be excited, right?
Oh, yeah, man. I love going to Alaska. This will be my 4th time. And, I've really got some great friends up there. So I can't wait to see everybody.
Man, I saw that. And I was like, my God, he's doing Texas and Alaska on the same month, getting both the big states out the way.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Guys, you can follow Whey everywhere at Whey Jennings. I think Facebook is actually a little bit different. I think it's at w.a.jennings. That is the at there. But everywhere else, it's just at Whey Jennings, W-H-E-Y. Whey, thanks so much for spending some time with me today, man. I appreciate you big time.
No problem, man. I really appreciate it. It's good talking to you. You coming to a show?
We're going to try, man. I don't know if it'll happen this time through, but I know you'll be back in Texas later this year. So we're looking hopefully for that. Because I think November you're going to be back in this area. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'll be down in Galveston in November, so
Yeah,
come on down.
that's what I
It's a
saw.
good time down there.
Hey, everybody, I'm Radney Foster, and you are tuning in to Boston Chris, and it's going to be a blast. Trust me.